let's see if we can get our first Weapon H game going. Hopefully audio sounds okay. I had to do a big thing where I've reset every single one of my audio things because for some reason it broke right before I left town last weekend, but I'm gonna hope it's okay. We're gonna see what happens here though. Blade, we didn't want to play, obviously hitting MODOK. We can play Zombie Power Man now though. I'm okay. I don't love Blade hitting, or Zombie Power Man hitting Blade, but this I'm more okay with. Lady Sif, again, I wouldn't really love if it hit MODOK. Am I going Gambit? I'm gonna do it. A Mercury, interesting. What do I lose? Of course I lose MODOK, the one card that I didn't want to lose. And we hit Quicksilver. Doesn't matter. What are we gonna do here? Icebox is rude. I'm gonna play Colonel America here for now. Because this actually should let me get Prio in this lane and let me... I'll draw a card and I'll discard something. I discard Weapon H. You know what? This is fine. No, I don't discard Weapon H. I discard Blade. I knew that. I didn't know that. So let's go with a Lady Sif hitting Weapon H and then Morbius. Now, I know there was a bug with Colonel America for a bit where he didn't actually discard what he was supposed to discard. So Khonshu and Proxima aren't going to work, but I don't know how much I'm truly going to care about it. Colonel America definitely works correctly. Scorn giving me extra points as well. I mean, I could just play these two, right? Proxima's not going to work, but I don't think I care. They've got Mercury. They can't move Mercury over to this lane and then hit me with something big. I think my best course of action right now is to actually go Weapon H into Scorn in this lane. And then I'm probably going to lose Proxima, but I think I'm just okay with that. This could be a point where I'd snap, but in Marvel Snap, unfortunately, this game's built in the way that if you snap, your opponent just retreats. So we are going to just play the card instead and not really worry about anything extra or cool stuff here. Shang-Chi, of course they're running Shang-Chi, and then just Kate Bishop. That's not enough to be able to take me down here. And then Proxima Midnight's going to be one more trigger on Colonel America. Nothing's happened in the right lane. We do win the left and the middle, though. We got a Weapon H game. We only hit him once, though. We'll see if we can hit him a little bit more, but I do love the fact that we were able to do what we could. That game may have been a little bit loud. I'm going to lower the volume in this next one, and we're going to see how it does. So my apologies on the weird audio balancing. I'm trying to figure it out. Like I said, I had to reset a bunch of settings. Let me know if it's wrong. Anyway, sorry, next game. All right, we're playing against, there's a Dormammu Thanos deck that's been going around. I've actually really been enjoying it. I just didn't want to play the exact same deck. Or I didn't want to play Dormammu again now that because I played it pretty recently on stream. But it's a pretty fun one. Let's start with this here. We've got Nico from them. They're doing Destroy Things with Dormammu and Thanos. Very interesting pile. Let's start with a Morbius for now. Am I doing Morbius? This is going to sound weird, but what if I play Morbius in this lane? Because, like, I really don't want it to be mid, because they're going to just have a lot of points here. And then this is a lane where they probably aren't fighting as much for. Baxter Building's awkward, though. Well, let's just play Zombie Power Man here instead. I literally just changed up my entire plan. I'm playing my card here instead. I can go with a Gambit in a second, though. Killmonger's fine. They're going to merge the Demon with Dormammu. And they're going to use this. They're going to Summoning Ritual. Angel's going to be a card there now. They've got this over here. They're probably going to, if I can imagine, they're probably going to try to use the Suck spell on my Power Man. Weapon H getting discarded once, though, is pretty solid. Got a lot of cards that we can be discarding. I do love all the Hulk effects. It's very cool stuff. Let's throw Gambit. I'm actually going to wait on the Gambit, I think. We're going to hit Khonshu here, and then we're going to have the Scorn. I want to see if I can hit something better for them. Lady Sif's only going to hit Khonshu, going to bring me an 8 power version. They're probably going to be able to use the spell on these two. I don't know. I'm trying to say it in a way that doesn't sound weird, but unfortunately it does. Dormammu's 21 power. Okay. And they've got Deathlock. I wonder what they're going to plan, what they're planning on going, or planning on discarding, or destroying to summon Dormammu. It's probably going to be in that right lane. I think with this in mind, currently, I'm going to go Modok here. This should mean I can discard all 3 of these, and Weapon H is going to get discarded again, and it's going to be a 1 cost, if I'm doing this correctly. Okay, they are going to summon Dormammu in this lane. And then this should get to a 1 cost next turn. Wade Wilson into the summoning ritual. Into the time stone, okay. Zombie Power Man is not going to be triggering on this turn. Interesting. You know what I can go for, and I kind of like this plan. What if I go... I've discarded... I don't know how many times it would discard, because I feel like I should know this. I could go Khonshu right now, but what if I go Colonel America here into Weapon H here? This feels like a pretty solid plan. I've discarded... I want to say I've discarded 1, 2, 3 turns right now. And I might discard another one. Maybe not one more. This is still really good. Yeah, I think I win this game. Because I think I'm going to discard... Yeah, I'm going to be winning the left 2 locations rather than the right one. Still, hey, that was a 3-cost Weapon H. That's pretty good. For only 2 discards, that was pretty solid. I like that. Yeah, we were able to put a lot of stuff down with Zombie Power Man, obviously. Colonel America gave us a nice little buff. It wasn't enough. I could have tried to play for it in a different lane, but if they play Thanos in one of these 2 lanes, then my Colonel America wins. So I think this was still correct, even though it didn't win me the game. But next game. Alrighty, starting off, Zombie Power Man, are we just going to play him in the left lane? I don't mind 4 power being added to the top of my board. They're doing destroy things. We got a lot of people who are going to be running destroy, I'm pretty sure, just because it is a very, what is it? It's a pretty destroy-centric season, so it makes sense. Zombie Power Man's pretty good, though. It's gonna hit Lady Sif, unfortunately, but then we can go Colonel America next, and I don't mind it. It's gonna take a second because, unfortunately, I added power to the top of my deck, and in Marvel Snap, if you try to do anything, the game just freezes, crashes, and gets really upset at you in general. Madripoor? I can't... Oh, it's Khonshu. Maybe part of the reason why it was so annoyed. Let's go with just this for now. I know I could be buffing this, or I could stop that, and maybe that was actually correct to try to stop those, but now I get Proxima. I'll take it. It's fine. I might just go Morbius again. So it's going to be resurrecting a card I discarded, and its power is going to be set to 5. Currently, that's exactly what we have Lady Sif at. Playing Morbius just because I can. Actually, do I really want to? What if I just play Proxima, the other Proxima, into this lane? Because that gets me to... Each one of those is going to get +2. It's going to get to 9 and more. They're only destroying 2 cards right now, which means it's a 6-cost death. They're adding 2 power to the next card they play. Khonshu gets discarded once here. I think I'm just going to play Morbius into this left lane. It's a lot of points that I'm currently putting into like 2 locations, but I actually think it's still pretty solid to do. Let's go with this. I think Morbius is going to be good here. Obviously, it's going to be 6 plus 2, or plus 3, actually. So it's going to be an extra 9 points we're adding to this lane, which hopefully is enough to stop them from doing something really big at Krakoa. 7-power Deadpool is pretty big. 9-power Deadpool is pretty big, but I think we're going to be okay against that. Headpool, obviously, as well. Venom, we still have more power than all that because of the Morbius, which is great for us. So let's do all this. Boom. They're adding a lot of points. It's 15 power Deadpool currently is what they just did. And added 9 power to the top card of their deck, which is a little bit scary, but I think we should be good against it. And we now have a very massive Khonshu, 16 points of power. I don't know. Am I scared of a null? I don't think I am. Like, I don't think I'm scared of them playing null on me. I think I'm just going to go Khonshu here and hope for the best, because I think we're doing pretty fine. Is this Deadpool? I think normally if it shows like the icon, it's a card you've already seen. So it's a 15 power Deadpool potentially. If so, we're fine. That's 41 points power putting in this lane. That's another 14. Yeah. Oh, it's 19? Oh, that was actually a little bit scarier. Yeah, the death and the Moira being the hit there. It was 19? What did I miss? Why was it? Oh, because it wasn't 14 plus 1. It was 8. It was 18 plus 1. That's why, because of Nico's plus 2 spell. Hey, I can't math, but I can win games. I'll take that as an absolute. What's the meme? I consider this an absolute win. Next game. All right, starting us off. Kunlun's fine. We can go Zombie Power Man probably on turn 2. They've got Black Cat. This is potentially end of turn, potentially Cerebro 4. We've got a couple options. Discard a card, fill it to return with plus 5 power. Deal. Sold immediately. What do they lose? Spider Ham, end of turn. Okay, they're probably an end of turn deck, which means I'm playing Zombie Power Man into this lane. That's going to hit Weapon H. I don't want to fill up this lane, actually, because I'd rather have this stuff happen, and I'm not immediately sweating the Khonshu currently. So let's go with this. Weapon H goes to a 14 power. We're going to play Corvus Glaive next. Oh, they just lose the card. That's kind of amazing. That's actually really amazing. Yeah, let's go Corvus Glaive currently in this lane. Their cards can't stay in this lane, which is a big deal. So I love that. Corvus Glaive's awesome here. It could have hit Khonshu, but I think this is better. I could have made it so it only hit Khonshu, but I think this is the correct call. Jocasta. Interesting. So they would just be able to do a couple of end of turn triggers. They're going to get some extra ones, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to make a difference. Let's see. I mean, a 5-14 at the top card of my deck? Deal, 100%. I'd like 14 power on the top card of my deck. Most people might consider that a pretty good deal, and I am one of those people. This Woman First Steps means they're going to get double triggers on their stuff. Sure. Do I care? Again, I don't think so. Scorn, okay. Zombie Power Man's going to be firing off. Yes. Lady Sif means I could hit Proxima Midnight, and that's about it. But I really don't want to put a card of mine over in this lane that I don't want to lose. Oh, but I'm going to lose Khonshu. Well, I'm going to have to just play this here and hope that it doesn't hit Khonshu is the answer. Or it doesn't go to the right lane. No, it's going to be the location with the least amount of power. It will be this lane. I lose Zombie Power Man on this turn no matter what. Okay. Or I lose Khonshu. But the locations trigger first. If locations trigger first, can I go Morbius here into Proxima Midnight? I think I can, because then this is, even though it says after turn 5, which is one of the confusing things about Marvel Snap, legitimately, it doesn't mean the after the turn, it means at the end of turn 5. So, we should win this. I should lose Zombie Power Man, which is unfortunate, but I don't take a debuff for anything else I'm doing. Or I'm dumb and I forgot about the middle location. Dang it! I deserve that. That's on me. That one's on me. My bad. I understand when it's my bad. And then what are we doing now? Is it just going to be... Can I just go MODOK? Honestly, I think I'm just going to fill up this lane. I'm not really caring about this right lane here. I think I win the left and mid. Havoc and Bruce Banner. I don't care about the right lane. I'm not playing for that lane. Got much more points in the middle. They can only get 2. I guess they're getting 4 triggers, technically, on Athena. But that's not enough to beat what I'm doing, right? No, it's not. Yeah, Weapon H is a really nice piece for this deck. Definitely a very solid amount of points. And I don't really care about all their stuff they're doing over here because I kind of just said screw that lane. I love it. That was great stuff. Next game. Starting us off again, Blade is, again, just not something we really want to hit on MODOK. There's a lot of other cards we wouldn't mind it hitting. I don't think MODOK is the right one. Maybe it is because you don't mind it hitting it with, like, bring it back with Khonshu later. But we'll see. Anyway, for now, I think that this is our... Actually, can I go Gambit? I just hit a random thing? You know what? Yes, let's hit Gambit. Random thing. Deal. Can you hit Viv for me? Who do I lose? Lady Sif, sure. That's not Viv. I asked for you to hit Viv. Come on. Come on, game. We talked about this. Ooh, Weapon H. I'm doing this. I don't know if that's correct. Oh, God. That's... Oh, that's so bad. Oh, that's so bad. That's so bad. This is very bad. What do I get? I get Corvus? I'm doing this. I gotta play everything mid. It's my only way to win this game, I think, even in the slightest. It's not a good chance, but it is my... Actually, no, I should have played Blade in this lane. Because I need to win the left and the mid. I think I can probably go for mid. But the problem is left, actually, and I definitely should have been going for other stuff there. Or I could say this. This is the only chance I have of winning, actually. I think it's this play. It's not a good one, but I think it's my only real chance. I should retreat. Starting off at Pet Mansion, we can immediately go for a hit on Zion Power Man, probably facing a mirror of sorts. I mean, we're definitely playing Zion Power Man mid now with that in mind. Okay, sure. A lot of these cards I kind of just don't care about. Let's see. I would love to be able to bring back Morbius. That'd be an awesome one to bring back. Don't know if I can. That's cool. I love that. I could do that. A nice little 514 is pretty solid here. Let's go with... Oh, we have Minds... Colonel America does add a couple of extra points. They've got Dracula and Silver Samurai. Sure. I'm going to do this. I'm going to lose my Morbius on this turn. I guess I also just have to get rid of my hand, don't I? I think so. I don't know why the it's just the animations, I think, that just really the game does not enjoy. Let's go Gambit. Come on, Gambit. Okay, we definitely take priority in this lane, which is great. And we hit Weapon H again. That's phenomenal. Who do we hit? Come on, hit one of these guys. Sure, you know what? I don't mind hitting a Blade. Deal. They get a Dormammu. They're gonna get Dormammu and Lady Sif from me. Okay, sure. Weapon H and Scorn. Deal. Khonshu doesn't change my plans. The Dracula means that they can probably use the Dormammu. Sure. Thankfully, Mindscape happens before hands are swapped. Or before you draw a card. So, zombie... Not, second Zombie Power Man? That's not what I expected. Huh. What do I do here? What are they going to play? They probably go with Ironheart into whatever else they just drew, right? I think that's the most likely plan for them. Honestly, can I just go Living Tribunal? Because then they go Ironheart with hopefully with probably a cheaper card, and then they just have to hope that Zombie Power Man Or they need to make it so maybe Zombie Pyroman doesn't trigger, which honestly Living Tribunal might be able to dodge. I think this is pretty good for us. The Triskelion, the mindscape of a Triskelion of a Living Tribunal, I guess, is the way I need to say this. I don't know. I think this is good. I don't know. Let's find out. I think this makes a lot of sense, though. Should be able to do good stuff. They're not playing for the middle lane. We're playing for all three now. And that's 16 points. They got a Morbius, which means they're very okay, so they're purposefully playing around everything else, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, there you go. So they were purposely trying to make it so their Dracula would work and try to hit the right card. But again, it just didn't make a difference. I liked that. Well, that was cool. Look at that. Potentially beating a mirror, but they didn't have Weapon H, and we did. So we can say at least Weapon H wins discard. Next game. I honestly think I might go... Do I want to just hit Lady Sif with the blade? Oh, wait. No, I'll do it. Because I can have Lady Sif come back later. Do I want that? Oh, I don't know. This is weird. Zombie Power Man with everything else we currently have is so strange. I guess I'm going to go with a blade in this lane. I'd love if Proxima went here. Is my current hope. Because I don't want her to go here. They're running chamber stuff. Okay, sure. Nothing interesting, but honestly should be able to be... Okay, Proxima, go here. Bro, go mid, go mid, go mid, go mid. Proxima, we talked about this, girl. Oh. Proxima, we talked about winning, I think, right? And that's what you went for? I respect the play. I respect the hustle. Good play. Good play. Good effort. Okay. So then what are we... There... Why are they snapping on me? I don't know. I'm going to do this and hope, but I have no idea why they're currently snapping. We're going to take... we're going to tie this location. They have Electro... Oh, they're getting rid of the Electro. Sure. Okay. We're tying here right now, though. Let's go with the Lady Sif on the Conchu. And I'm going to go Zombie Power Man into... Do I want to play Morbius here? I don't think so. I'm going to go Morbius in the side lane. They're probably going to take Prio out of this lane, I think, if I had to guess. Hydro Man? Yeah, they took Prio. And then what we got here? Oh! Well, that's cool. That's pretty dang cool. Current problem is that Conchu's actually discarding nothing. I don't want to show them I have Weapon H. That's fine. If they Enchantress me, they have to Enchantress this lane again. They have to keep putting more power in this lane, and that's not bad. And actually, I don't think they will. I think they're going to assume they can win here. Do you think... Do we think that they actually do that? I think it's this. I think this is the way to win. I'm going to really hope they want to Enchantress this lane. I'm going to really hope they Enchantress here. If they do, we have a chance, I think. Otherwise, I don't... It's 14 power. That's an Eson. I'm going to have 28 points of power in that left lane. That's double whatever they currently have. And we haven't seen them generate an extra card. I might be able to be okay here. Let's go! This deck has been all over the metagame. Everyone's been playing, I think, this chamber deck. And I could have shown it. And I didn't. It is what it is. This deck is everywhere. It's the most popular deck. And being able to do this against it, being able to win against it, even in a pretty weird way, was still really cool. Being able to play and outmaneuver exactly what they were trying to go for. Because if they played more to the mid, they obviously lost that lane. Or they were in this lane, but they needed to play for one of these other two. And just assuming I couldn't outpower them over here as I hadn't discarded Weapon H yet. Makes a lot of sense, but they didn't know that their Hydro Man gave me Weapon H. Next game. Alrighty. Wakanada over in the left lane. Morbius, the only card we can potentially play in any, soon. We'll play it here probably on turn 2. Mount Vesuvius. We can lock them in a room with us, which means I'm even more incentivized to not snap even more than I normally do. Morbius over here. I'm definitely not going to be playing Gambit for now, as this is just not helpful. I will play like I said, I will play Zombie Power Man into the right lane. Bar for bar what I said. Don't question it. And then I can go Lady Sif probably. We're not winning this lane yet. Hopefully I can do it here. Devil Dinosaur. Okay, Zombie Power Man at approximate midnight, which puts her mid. Okay, so we're currently winning these 2 locations right now. They could try to chance just me in the right lane or left lane, which is a real concern, I think. But I don't know if it's real enough that I'm actually it's a real concern, but I don't know if I'm actually concerned. I think I can just play Colonel America in the right lane to guarantee I can win pretty much over here. Then Gambit hits most likely as a 1 in 4 chance to miss. Otherwise, it's pretty good no matter what. Ice Cube's 1 less energy for them. Devil Dino's a lot of points, and then Luna Snow's less points, but still good. Let's see. I think this is solid. We're not snapping here because I'd rather be able to snap when they can't retreat. Lock them in a room with me. Yeah, especially considering they're going to maybe try to get rid of the cards over here. Feels really good. Weapon H again. Oh, I love to see it. Honestly, Devil Dino. Heck yeah, that's amazing. Let me just check to see what else they do. They got Valentina, all this stuff, which means they're probably going to activate Chamber now. Sure. How many did it get? It got plus 10, which means it had 1, 2, 3, 4 of the Valentina and Nick Fury, all those cards, and then plus 1 more in their hand of a 5 or higher cost. Honestly, I think that's game, right? I win? I don't see how they beat me here. Can I go Weapon H into Corvus Glaive? I'm gonna add, I had 2 extra points over here. Actually, do I even want to play for that lane? What if I do this instead? Kind of like this. There you go. I think it's my best play. This is an okay snap. I know I typically will laugh at boomer snaps, but I do think this is an okay snap because they're actually locked in a room with me and they can't actually retreat. I'd like it if Scorn hit a card in the right lane currently. She did. That's amazing. And I got an Apocalypse, which literally doesn't matter. And Zombie Power Man should trigger 1 more time. I'm up 10 points in that lane. Lots of chamber stuff. Lots of points. Weapon H is a really great way to be able to play cards in this deck. Typically, this slot has been occupied by something akin to a Swarm, but Weapon H has felt really good in one particular aspect that I hadn't thought about up until now, was being able to set up to put a mass amount of points on the final turn without having to like put them down earlier. You don't have to set up for it. You can just drop it and then immediately play it. Or was it? You can just immediately play without having to do much setup. Morbius is kind of similar, but you typically do want to play it earlier due to the fact that you want to discard other things, and this doesn't punish you for discarding it. It allows you to play it later in the game and get a lot of points out of it. Weapon H just felt really good. Next game. One of the few times I actually don't feel bad about playing a Blade on turn 1. Sure, deal. Kitty Pride, okay. Let's see. A Clintar is not amazing. All we've seen from them is Kitty Pride so far. Makes me a little bit concerned about what they could go for. Hit Omega. All right, so my cards don't stay in that lane. Clintar is going to actually trigger, fun fact, before the Bifrost, which means my cards for the most part should be okay over here. I'm going to do this. Means I don't get to keep points over here. However, oh, is this the Zombie Phoenix Force deck? Okay, that might be a small problem, but I think I should be okay. Let's do this. I'm going to discard Scorn this turn. And then Colonel America should trigger, honestly, should trigger, or should get a bunch of points. How many points is this going to get? Hunger goes where? It going mid is really good for me because that means I'm gonna snap on the zombie horde going mid is where I'm snapping, because everything else they're currently playing, all those points aren't gonna matter for any other zombie cards they play next turn or later. It's just they're gone. And they've also clogged themselves in that right lane. They could still use a Phoenix Force potentially to bring back a card, but that's also not the easiest thing in the world to do. And if they use a, what's the 2 cost? Elixir? It could even bring back an Ice Cube. So I'm actually feeling pretty stoked right now. We have a, no shot I have a Modok in my discard? Oh, heck yes. I've never been more sold. Everything gets discarded. Weapon H is going to be a 5 cost. Scorn will be 8 power. No, it'll be 10 power because it's going to add stuff on the board. Proxima is going to go to the probably whatever lane Modok doesn't go to. And then I'm just going to do a lot of stuff with these guys. Yeah, this is amazing. This was, I think it was an okay snap. Yep, Modok only is 5, but that's still pretty dang good. And then we should have Scorn trigger. Deal. Adding 2 more points back over to Modok, putting Modok back over to 7 points power. Venom. Okay. Okay, even with that, I don't get their plan. How do they beat me in even 2 lanes? I'm going to be at 31 points over here. Currently at 33, so they only have to add 12 mid. And how are they getting points left? I think it's game, set, match. I don't see a way currently that they win here. I don't know. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong right now. Let's go. Prove me wrong. Make me regret. Make me eat my words with a spoon. Come on. Legitimately, I think they're cooked. I don't know what they would be able to do here. They literally have nothing. The Phoenix Force is going to miss. Best thing they would be able to do probably would be, if I look at their destroyed things, they could bring back. Actually, let's look it through. Adamantium infusion could be 40 points of power. Oh, never mind. But then how do they win another lane? They can't add 12 points elsewhere. That's sick. Weapon H is just like here, like even a singular discard. I was thinking it's pretty easy to get him down to 1 cost. It's honestly not the easiest considering you have a lot of things you want to discard, but also I kind of underestimated how much you really care about hitting every single one. Because I don't think I care about getting all of those discards. I think it's just this. I really like it. This has felt really good and like an absolute blast. I've been really happy with Weapon H's performance. Let's talk about the card, talk about this deck, and break the whole thing down. I didn't expect to enjoy this pile as much as I did, but it's been an absolute blast. I've really been loving all of the consistent discarders you can mess with. Zombie Power Man, I think, is one of my, I forgot about how much fun the card is, how great of an addition to Marvel Snap it truly is, and I've just been loving being able to rock this pile of cards. I think there's been a lot of decks and a lot of cards recently that I've been trying to figure out, like my favorites and messing with. And this one just really kind of hit a perfect sweet spot for everything I wanted to do. There's a lot of very interesting interactions, obviously, and bring down Weapon H to a very low amount of power. Sorry for my cough. And Gambit's just a great, it's your only piece of interaction. And I kind of love being able to build a big pile of cards and just not do a bunch of interaction. And Gambit's the only bit of it. I'm not relying on it as much. It does still have some really great moments, but that doesn't mean that's all I'm caring about. Zombie Power Man's a really solid card, and I don't know if you probably need it for this deck in particular, but I did enjoy it here. Similarly, I'd say that Scorn, some other higher series cards, right? I think it's Scorn, Colonel America, Corvus Glaive, obviously, Khonshu, Weapon H, Modok, I guess there are more expensive cards. It's not using the Dracula Apocalypse discard style, right, that's been used in the past, and I wasn't personally interested in using those cards because, for one, I feel like they've been used quite a few times by now. And I've talked about Helicarrier in my OTA video, so if you missed that, go check out that video. It's over on the same channel. But like Helicarrier is not a real card you can be playing in here. If you do want to be playing some other cards, trying to mess with some stuff, especially if you have Zombie Power Man, you do want a way to bring back stuff, so Khonshu's been really good. If you don't have that, you could try to go either Ghost Rider, maybe you can do Firelord. I'm not going to promise anything good with Firelord, but you could try that, or even weird stuff with Morgan Le Fay. I haven't messed with that whole pile of cards yet. But one of the notable exclusions from this deck is like the Calling Wing Swarm package, which is typically a pile of a couple of cards that you would be using in this deck, and we've chosen not to here because I've enjoyed the Zombie Power Man and Colonel America stuff more, but if you would like to, if you need a different option, I do think it's pretty solid. I think the Swarm is also really, discarding Swarm is also really good with Colonel America, because you can play a Colonel America with no other cards in lane and then just fill it up with a bunch of Swarms, and all those Swarms will get the buffs. So that's a really good bit as well. You could be trying to throw in, instead of the other pieces, I'm not mentioning specifics because there's a bunch of different styles. Obviously, like I mentioned, the Dracula and Apocalypse, if you're missing one of the higher end cards here, I think that those are pretty solid as well to be able to try to sub in. Swordmaster is a card that was recently buffed in order to be working with Weapon H. Now, I didn't do it here. There's a chance it works, but I'm going to be honest, I'm not the most sold on it, just due to the fact that it is a pretty difficult restriction. Just due to the fact that the 3 costs, there's a lot of other ones, but maybe there's a world where you wanted to use that. And like I said, a Firelord, maybe that's an actual real deck. I don't know, but you know, everyone can cope. Obviously you can mess with, I think there's, I know Tucker was talking about doing some Black Knight stuff, and yeah, I don't know. In whatever cards you're missing, in the end, it is you swap them out for whatever cards you currently are missing, and put in other discard cards. You could try to swap, Redshift might be a card you're okay with, but the problem is, you already have quite a few cards that you like discarding. There are 4 cards in here that you like to discard. You got Scorn, Proxima, Khonshu, and Weapon H. If you go with Redshift, you have another card that potentially you're trying to play, but you're also potentially just needing to get rid of. So keep that in mind. Do play it as you see fit. But a lot of really cool stuff here. Not to mention, of course, the brand new Weapon H. Do you like discard? If so, Weapon H is probably a pretty good card for you. I could take some more time and tell you all the ins and outs and stuff, but this card is a very simple card. I love just the simplicity of it, truly. It does feel like a card they may have done at one point, similar to what we have with currently Apocalypse. I love what Weapon H does as a 7-cost card. It's a pretty good one. Like, it has a built-in way to enable it with the -2 cost when discarded, and it also has a lot of really nice synergies. If you discard it, again, even if it's lower than what is it, then like a 1 cost or a 0 cost, I'm 90% certain you would be able to still put it back, even if it wouldn't be able to have like less than 0, because it doesn't say if this has whatever, like it just says put this back, and then you also get the -2 cost as an additional bonus. So I'm 90% certain that would still happen that way. We didn't see it during my games, but I'm trying to give you initial first impressions on the card. So I like Weapon H. Weapon H is a really cool card. It does a lot of simple things for discard that I really enjoy, and I've been loving it. Sorry, by the way, that I didn't do any videos on the other new cards that came out last week. I went out of town and then just didn't have the free time for it, and I didn't have the free time again today either. But pretty good stuff. I liked the card. I liked what they were able to do with this, and I had a blast. So if y'all enjoy the card and enjoy just the whole video, let me know. Thanks so much for watching to the very end. I'll see y'all around hopefully pretty soon with another fun video. Peace out.